It's just after sunrise on this February morning, and I'm headed west on US 460. Heading north into West Virginia, I am bound for the former Chesapeake and Ohio, now CSX New River and Alleghany Subdivisions. Speaking of the New River, recent heavy rain and snowmelt has led to the banks of the river creeping into people's yards and homes. Arriving into Hinton along the mighty river, I would head west just a few more miles into Brooks. Brooks is located at the CA 361.25, and there isn't much else here besides the railroad, a few houses, and a campground all along Mullins Road. Tied down is CSXT 140 in charge of an eastbound mixed freight train. With loaded coal shuttle R22506 closing in, the Mullins Road gate activates, but it isn't a CSX train that has piqued my interest this morning. Instead, it is Amtrak's tri-weekly Cardinal, which should be closing in on us soon. R225 is an as-needed coal shuttle between Meadow Creek and Hinton, West Virginia, so today's crew has almost wrapped up their duties for the day as they close in on Hinton. At 10:53, the eastbound Cardinal would knock down the signal here at Brooks.
050 track 519, east 2, clear, Brooks. Road? Yeah.
In charge of PO 5006 is Dash 8 number 519. 2 days prior, Amtrak 51, the westbound Cardinal, had lead locomotive number 354 fail on its trip west to Chicago. A CSX SD70 Mac would come to the rescue and tow the train to the Beech Grove shops in Indiana, but there wasn't enough time to repair the broken down charger, so Amtrak 519, designated as a B32-8WH, the H for head and power, was put in charge of today's Cardinal. Today's Cardinal originated out of Indianapolis instead of Chicago. Heading east through warm Sulphur Springs and passing by the historic Greenbrier Hotel, I would arrive at the site of C&O's former Alleghany turntable and set up at the east portal of Alleghany Tunnel, located at the crest of the grade. The grade peaks out at a 1.67% gradient as it reaches 2,078 feet above sea level. The grade would be of no match for this old veteran locomotive, as it hurries the Cardinal towards its next stop of Clifton Forge, Virginia, here at the summit of the Alleghanies. Clifton Forge would be the next stop for me, along with Amtrak's Cardinal. where CSX has a sizable yard in town and Amtrak has its stop. I wouldn't be setting up at the yard, however, or the station, instead choosing the A Street overpass, to the east of the C&O Historical Society. At 1310, we get one final view of this old Dash 8 leading the Cardinal, having just departed Clifton Forge. This is my first and likely last time to ever see one of these old engines leading a train. As the marker lights hang on the rear, it will be time to peel off and head for the Norfolk Southern Roanoke District, in hopes of catching another unique locomotive. It would be about an hour drive, but I would arrive in Arcadia, Virginia, with plenty of time to spare. New Safe Trans signals have taken the place of the older Norfolk and Western CPLs, but to me, the beauty of this place tucked into the mountains still remains. By this point, my camera had broke a little bit ago, so the rest of these videos will be recorded on my phone. Even without my camera, here's NS V81 coming south, with the Norfolk Southern Veterans Unit in the lead. I would then beat them down to the small town of Lithia, where this low-to-the-ground angle would have to suffice. At 1643, and a 6920 brings V81 south. A few more miles to the south, and I had already caught up to them again. The slow track speeds winding between the mountains certainly allows for us to do so. Smaller town of Nace, 1990s era SafeTran replacement signals stand guard at the intermediate milepost 224.7 signals. In perfect evening light, the local brings its train closer to Roanoke. I had already gotten ahead of the train by Troutville, but a car accident would bring the chase to a halt. It's safe to say that was the end of all that. Thank you all for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed some of the rare locomotives, like the Dash 8 and the Veterans Unit. Here are some of my favorite photos from today's chase, and until next time, this is Commonwealth Rail, out.